Well, welcome back, everyone, to another Friday live stream in Euro Truck Simulator 2. This Friday, I am doing a run from Sweden to Switzerland for the BTT All Europe Challenge for this year. Um, let's recognize who all is here early and on time. Rob Stricker, aka Lurch, is here, and he's in the Discord with me to read your chat.
Go ahead, Rashid. Make my day.
Rick Rashid is here, throwing hands and other emojis. Striker M11 is here. I'm having trouble getting past all that. Tricker Kitty is here, of course. Right, is he? Yeah, I don't know, Striker, about the I don't know what the aero front is on the Volvo. The Volvo is a weird looking truck to me. I prefer the Scania. Maybe that's just because I'm used to it now. Lobo 1G is here. Ken Beard is here. Win55 is here. David Long, aka Shorty, is here. How's that new fiber internet working out for you? I saw you hopping on the server the other day. How's it working out? Better? Nightbot is here, so watch your P's and Q's. Turn off that caps lock key and don't spit out too many emojis or Nightbot will get you, Rick Rashid. just like Shorty says, he's gonna get you, Rick Rashid. Nicholas Triple XN is here. Nice. Lowrider is here from Germany. Let's see. Nightbot is vomiting all over the chat. Nope. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to do some quick shout outs and then we're going to get rolling because we got a long way to go, but I'll show you what's up. Isabella Hagloff, Rob Strucker, aka Lurch. Nightbot is number one. He is. Bill Welburn, Bedrock, our top ATS driver for February 2023. Nicholas Triple XN. Susan Arthur, our top Euro truck driver for April 2025. XLT 588 Gaming. Omega Sunrise, our top ATS driver for January 2024. Trucker Kitty, Norwegian trucker Nicholas. Big Al 2424, our top ATS driver for March 2025. And our top ATS driver for all of 2023. Chasmified, Johnny Hansen. Lobo 1G, our top ATS driver for July 2024. Pugwash, our top Euro truck driver for April 2024. Wim55, our top ATS driver for March 2024. Arlen Torresev Ice Bear, our top Euro truck driver for August 2023. FTG Mike B, David Long, aka Shorty, our top Euro truck driver for September 2024. Shorty says it works great. Took a run with Red Demon and Wiz Nation, no problems. That's awesome. I hope you'll be in the convoy this coming Sunday. We're going to be convoying in Euro Truck Simulator. Vigner is here. Welcome, Vigner. Nightbot and Rick Rashid, huh? Is it really? Let me have a look at that. Can I look at this? Nope. Rick Rashid has fallen to third place. Shorty is in second. Nice. Okay, so let's get to it. We will start by, let me go to the map. I am not in Switzerland. I'm actually, I've just crossed into Germany from France. I picked up this load in Geneva and I drove the first day because it's a long trip and I wanted to get in a chunk of it because we were going all the way up into northern part of, well, central Sweden, but it's a northernmost part of base game or Scandinavian Sweden. So I didn't want to make today's live stream too terribly long. That's what's up. Emoji only posts should make you lose XP. Yeah, but XP doesn't work here. Well, okay. All right. You're right. That's the live chat XP, which is different XP. Sorry. Um, it only counts, and I don't disagree with you, by the way, but it only counts whether or not you posted something. So even a super chat, I think I don't know that gives you any more than what a regular chat would. I'm getting close to being halfway through the challenge. Yeah, I've got a lot of driving ahead of me because after this, I've got to drive, I think, to Spain. And then Spain all the way across to Romania. So I've got some long runs ahead of me yet. Really long. Now, one of the longest ones I've done so far is from the UK down to Turkey. And then from Turkey to Sweden. And boy, did I have a tough time finding a load from Turkey to Sweden. I had a load from Turkey to Sweden. I even connected to the load. But the very next morning, 155 dropped. And I lost it. So, boo-hoo. It took me a while to find another one. Hey, Ducky. Should do a longer run. No, I don't want to do too long. I don't want to make this like a 2.5 hour stream. I want to kill myself. So, anywho, let's get on with it. So, this is where I stopped after the first day's drive. I am on a back road between Strasmetzberg and Mannheim. So, once we get over here to south of Mannheim, we're going to hop back on the Autobahn. We'll take that all the way to where we're going. Yeah, long runs are good. I will turn on an audio book or podcast, just like I did in real life. And I will drive, and the miles will melt away, or kilometers.
Rashid says, Roadcraft paving hit. Ducky.
Oh, the speed limit's only 60 here. Now I am driving my Volvo FH6. Been driving that one lately. I saw that Pilot drove a long one. I'm trying to remember which one. It was a long run. And he posted a picture of his truck and load and mentioned that he shouldn't have chose the DAF XD. And it wasn't for quite a while before I realized the significance of that. I forgot about the XD. The XD is like a local truck. It's just not designed for long haul.
By the joking about how much did you have to fuel up?
Yeah. So it's got small fuel tanks. I got to turn the volume down on this because I think I turned it up because I was driving this solo.
Yes, Rashid, I agree that the premiere of Strange New Worlds was awesome. And Ducky says, who has the longest haul in the VTC? Anyone beyond his 12,500 kilometer?
Yes. I don't remember who it was, but somebody went from Asia to South Africa or something. I think it was Stryker.
Yep, Stryker says 24 kilometers ROK to RSA.
How many kilometers?
24,000.
Yeah. All I heard was 24. Yeah, Republic of Korea to Republic of South Africa, I think. I knew it was somewhere in the east, in Asia. Uh-oh. Somebody had a meeting of the minds. So, we got a little bit of nighttime driving to do. About 3 to 4 hours.
Ida Warrior says, "Hey pal, what's up?"
Welcome, Gita Warrior. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome to the stream.
Striker says Seoul to Cape Town, to be specific.
How much real time did that take you to do? Good 3 days, I'll bet.
Becky says that's a lot of driving on water, which works perfectly in the game.
The lane ended. So does this one.
Striker says no water and only one ferry over a river.
So tomorrow's live stream, I'm going to be driving American Truck again. I've got one city left for the Iowa World of Trucks event. So I'm going to do that last city. I think it's Ottumwa. I've been having a tough time finding a load, World of Trucks load to Ottumwa. Is this where I ought to be going? Why does this feel like the wrong way? Oh, hey, here we go.
Striker adds, according to Trucky, I needed 19 hours and 27 minutes. And Ducky said, that's the city I did first. Done 2 so far. John Rice says, hi. Do you have the air brakes turned on for realistic gameplay? I'm trying it.
John, welcome to the stream. Yes, I have all my settings to realistic. In fact, it's a requirement for running hardcore mode in Trucky. So yes, I have all that turned on. I can't imagine doing it any other way, because I am, of course, a former real-life truck driver, at least in the U.S.
Breaker says it was split over a week, of course.
Okay.
Shorty says he's getting his wheels set up, which should arrive today by FedEx.
Nice. That controller you've been using has just been not fun. guess I can, oh, by the way, I've already spotted out my next stop. Forgot to mention that. Where am I going? I am going here. So just north of Hanover. It's a little over, or almost 6 hours left to drive to get there, which will be, yeah, I've got 8.5 hours left on the clock.
Get a Warrior says Iowa update is really awesome. Can't wait to get more states.
Yeah, Iowa's great. It's got, I mean, they just keep adding more and more stuff. I've been looking forward to Iowa for quite a while because you can drive across Interstate 80 now from near Davenport or Dubuque all the way to San Francisco. I haven't done it yet, but I plan to.
Says he got the Iowa 20 hours ago. Responding to Rashid's question.
Well, I'm going to do a few shout outs while I'm driving down this Autobahn. JJ Man 1982, Thor Rasmussen, our top Euro truck driver for January 2025. Our top Euro truck driver for all of 2023. Nick, David H74. I think I have to switch lanes.
She's wondering, why are you driving at night?
Because this is a freight market load. And in order to make sure I get it there on time, I'm just doing the stops and then taking the breaks. Yeah, this is one reason I don't like doing long hauls with freight market loads. My last run, which was from Turkey to Sweden, Switzerland rather, Turkey to Switzerland. I did a World of Trucks load. Unfortunately, I broke it up over 2 days, and I didn't get back to driving it the second day early enough, and I wound up being late. Was just kicking myself in the butt for that. I still got a lot of hardcore points, but no stars, and I could have been more hardcore points.
JC Drives is here.
JC, welcome. I can see it's starting to get light. More light.
Yeah, it says beauty contest in Iowa 80 is beautiful.
Beauty contest.
That's what he said.
RD04 Dave, our top ATS driver for March 2023. Broken, Douglas Williams.
says, must have seen my truck skin in Iowa. And earlier he joked black market load, Rick.
Look at black market load. I didn't know that.
You ready, Gita?
Yeah, about the July. I scanned it. But that makes a lot of sense for that particular truck stop.
Says hi.
Welcome, Mickey. Or Mikey. Mikey.
Ducky says you have to visit Bruce Wilson and try a Scania in real life. Striker says if the blue Scania from Tennessee participates, it will win. Japsai says hi, how's it going?
Hey, Japsai, welcome to the stream. Well, we're making pretty good time so far. Although, you never know when you might get a detour.
Dreaded detour. I said the dreaded detour.
Oh, yeah.
Matt Wolter says hi.
Hey, Matt. Welcome to the stream. We are driving from Sweden to Switzerland. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the next load is from Sweden to Spain, which is even longer than this one.
Thor says good evening all. First free weekend in nearly 2 months. Hope all is well with everyone.
Wow. Nice to see you, Thor. I've been thinking about you.
Mikey says I was playing ATS yesterday and got fined $3,780 for pulling into a way station as per requested.
There must have been something wrong with your truck. Presumably. And the retarder on this truck works really good.
It says, do you know that scale and map in ETS is 10 for 1 and ATS is 35 for 1?
What?
Striker is saying it's 1 to 20 in ATS and 1 to 19 in ETS. Talking about map scaling, I believe.
Oh. All I heard was scale. And I was thinking we're still talking about way stations. Yeah. Welcome, Wiz.
Is here. Like he says, I was pulling in as the message asked me to and got fined while on the entry road, and I didn't get the inspection done yet.
What did it say the fine was for? Either, well, the only thing I can think of at that point would be, well, shouldn't get a fine leading up to it.
You didn't catch what it was for, just the amount.
Unless you, well, even speeding, that shouldn't be that big, steep of a fine.
It says he just got done playing Farlight 84 with his brother.
Who?
Kiddo would let Wiz.
Okay.
Just got done playing with his little brother. Kiddo would like to request you do a fake British accent.
A fake British accent?
Yep.
I don't even know what that would sound like. Marco Castagna, welcome to the adventure.
Mikey says, I've been fined before for not stopping at the way stations.
Yeah. Can't imagine what you would get a fine for leading up to it.
Striker says, not sure about the islands, but it was different. One of the reasons that a UK rework should be a high priority thing, not buses and other unnecessary stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
And then he adds, wait for Sunday when the Brits are in the convoy. Nicholas says, I'd rather request a real British accent.
Well, that'll be in Sunday's convoy too.
To which Ducky responded, Queen's English? Mikey says, yesterday was the only time it happened. He's been playing ATS since February of last year. Lowrider suggests maybe an illegal truck-trailer combination.
Yeah, but I still think that wouldn't happen until you pulled up on the scale. That is a real possibility, though. But again, I would think it would happen on the scale. Where were you in ATS when that happened? I think the probability of getting Welsh on Sunday is pretty high probability. Should be getting close,
Yeah.
right? Are we near Hanover? Oop.
Japsai is suffering from 3 torn muscles at the top of his leg.
Ow! That hurts just thinking about it.
And Mikey says it was California. Well, there's your problem.
Oh, yeah. Were you hauling a your own trailer, a dry van or reefer with adjustable axles? Yeah, I would think morphine would be in order there. Here comes our rest area coming up. That ain't it. What's he say?
Ducky said he's been fined in Turkish scales for truck damage. Only thing not correct was tire wear. Japsai says lots of morphine. And Mikey had a log loader and was a quick job from the market.
Well, I can't imagine what it would be then. Did you strap down the logs properly? Okay. How we doing on time, by the way?
Gita
40.
would have to settle for something from me. I think my best would be, welcome to the lifestyles of the rich and famous. I'm Robin Leach.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very British.
I thought he was British.
No, he is, but your impersonation wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, yes, Mikey, that could be a thing, overweight, but if you didn't actually get up to the scale yet, that was my understanding. Was this before you rolled up onto the scale, or as you were on the scale?
That's a good point from Shorty.
Yeah, but again, you'd have to get up. You would have to blow past it to get a fine. Let me do a few shout outs here before we get rolling again. JC Drives, our top Euro truck driver for March 2025. Thomas Berger, Doom 3, Matthew Roth, Lee Jenkins, Lee01 Mister, Phantom 6767, our top Euro truck driver for October 2024. Jennifer Roth, Pancake Man, Ken Beard, Ryan, Road Trip Nerd. If you are wondering why I'm hollering out names like that, these are channel members, reefer hauler or above, who get their name shouted out during most live streams. So let's get going. We've got a lot of daylight here. Oh, I need to plan out my next stop. We've got 11 hours. Let's look for something 9 hours out. Place we can also get fuel. Yeah. Let's see. That is going to be our best shot right there. We'll pull in there, we'll get fuel and stop the next. But just before you rolled up, that I have no answers. Unless you said it was a logging trailer, quick job, so that couldn't be an adjustable axle.
You want a bottle of water?
I'm reading Vigner's comment here. I saw that they were talking about the scaling of the maps, American Truck and Euro Truck, and on AP 101 Gaming Server there was a question about the scale problem with the map in ATS because of Northwestern. Are you sure that's not Northeastern? Because that is coming up. They're going to have to tweak the scale in some way when they get to the East Coast, Eastern states. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like Stryker says. So the Northeastern New England states, as they're referred to. Yep, I fully believe that SCS will work it out. Life will be fine. There are some doomsayers that think that we're going to have a Galopolis when we get to the northeastern states.
Vigner says
I don't think
SCS
so.
is working on a solution for the states, and yes, he meant the Northeast. It was just a typo. Striker adds it'll be years away until we reach there.
Yep. 3 to 5 years, I estimate. Leaning towards the 5.
Pilot is in a work meeting, and I hear scaling non-issue again.
Yeah. Get back to work. Oh. By the way, Pilot, I had to go back and look at my own DAF XD trucks. Because I saw you post that last night. And at first I'm like, I don't get it. What's the problem? And then it was only later when I was laying in bed, I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh, it's those little trucks with the little fuel tanks and little engines. Why the heck would you try to drive that thing all the way across Europe?
The little 600-liter engine was the problem, he says.
600 liter? I don't think they make an engine that size. I mean, even
Fuel
this
tank,
one
not
is
engine.
like, okay. Yeah, this one's like 12.7 liter, I think.
You've driven a Subaru Forester. Get a Worrier. Nicholas says 600-liter fuel tank is not that small. I've got a 510 in my new Mercedes.
Yeah, I was thinking 600 is not too bad. I mean, well, it is smaller than these trucks. Like the one I'm driving has 800 liter, I think. I don't think it's that big, because I guess it could be.
Pilot said I said the did was the least driven truck in the game, so I wanted to show it some love, but I didn't remember what length of trip I had to take next.
And which trip was it? Because I already forgot. Was that the one to the UK?
Striker says compared to the XG and XG Plus, it's small, but not unusably small.
But they come with the stock motors for those are smaller though.
Ducky says
Really,
size of the.
really for doing smaller loads around town.
He said yes, and Ducky says the size of the fuel tank makes sense when it comes to fuel economy in hardcore mode.
That's what I get for being on hard right lane.
Pilot adds, I may have patched in a bigger engine though.
I was thinking you might have.
MX-13 instead of the 11.
See how we're doing on time now. We got 30 hours. Should be good.
Victor says, just like Pete said in a BP when he talked about US 90, but said that it was I-90 instead. Continuation of what he said earlier.
Oh.
Gita says there's a story of a newly married man who wanted the family to be largely bought a truck and moved in his truck with his family, and now every year he has a new passenger for the truck.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't hardly hear that with the announcement going off. Hey Johnny, welcome to the stream. 28 months of flatbedder. Could you read that again, please? Because I couldn't hear. I can't hear whenever one of those things goes off.
There's a story of a newly married man who wanted his family to be large, so he bought a truck and moved in his truck with his family, and now every year he has a new passenger for his truck.
How do you have a new passenger for your truck? You lost me.
He's a newly married man, brought his wife along.
Oh, kids.
Clintus Fobbs is here.
Hey, Clintus. And Jay Ricketts.
Says left you a message in Discord. I'll check back in after the next call.
Okay. So we went through a tunnel, and I'm thinking, oh, that must have been the one at Hamburg, right?
Carlin is celebrating 21 months.
Hey, Carlin. Welcome. A whole lot of celebrating going on here. I think Trucker Kitty should check and see. Oh yeah. Trucker Kitty's really been with me longer than that, though.
It says now that married man is going to buy another truck to get even more passengers.
That's crazy.
But I don't think that would work.
Well, unless it was a bigger truck to replace the first one.
That would work, yeah, but not the way he said.
Right. That's the same thing I thought of at first. I'm like, wait, are you also getting a second wife to go with the second truck, or let the first wife drive the first one and hang out some more kids in the second truck? Yeah, all that went through my head before it dawned on me it's a bigger truck. So when you say another truck, that implies that you kept the first one, or that he kept the first one and bought another truck. So, okay. That got really strange. Norwegian trucker Nicholas, also 30 months. Crazy, crazy. Speaking of membership, next week's, which is a week from tomorrow, members only live stream. We'll be rolling out something new. Well, a new take on an old thing. You don't want to miss that. And if you're not a member, click that join button down below and at least do the dry van hauler at the very least, so you can tune in for that.
Edith says, last time I checked, the man was getting married for the 7th time with his 6th wife and 12 girlfriends. And 1 truck.
Okay, that's pretty crazy. Well, I can see that Nicholas, somebody, yep, has gifted 10 memberships. Go ahead, Lurch.
It's Angry Blake, JBVHD, Lord Dragon, Dr. Shiba Dubé, Colin Percival, William, Timothy Parrish, Jason Sutton, Andrew Strauber, MKA Transportation. Those are the lucky recipients. And Thor says, I see that there still are missing shirts and sweatpants in the store.
You're right, there are. Kind of took my eye off the ball a little bit more since you weren't here to bug me about it. But I've been thinking about it. In fact, I've been thinking about I want to make a special one for myself, and I think I mentioned this before, where the logo is reversed so that it shows up in the correct way because I have my camera reversed, mirrored. Yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot. But then I was like, well, Thor's not here to pester me about it, even though I know I should do it anyway. Yeah. But the whole sweatpants thing, that kind of throws me. But maybe that's because I live in a climate where any pants are sweatpants because it's so doggone hot. Even my shorts are sweatpants. Well, by the way, Thor, since this is a free weekend, if you're so inclined to do some field work, have made some changes on that server because we consolidated Nathanthal and Hubbard onto that server. So there's a few, I mean, you've got all the mods, but there's nothing that we didn't already have for Nathanthal. So, but we've got a few extra mods on there now, and I think I took a couple things off So now we're going to try and stick with a single mods list for all 3 maps. Anyway, Huron is the current live map on there. I've got another mod that I would like to add. I wanted to talk to you first before I did it. We can talk about it later.
Adam Buster says hi, back from
Hey,
work.
Adam. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, you're usually here earlier.
Or says,
Oh.
speaking of hot, we had 28 Celsius. Been sweating like a pig today.
Would kill for 28C. Driving by your place. Or will be. Maybe we aren't because we're going to Sweden, so I guess we are turned off. I would have had to have gone farther north to go past your place. Aha.
Food shopping after work. That's a necessity.
Yep, sometimes you got to do it.
Striker's got 2 weeks off. Of course, it's raining all the time, but at least temps are okay staying under 25.
Yeah, it's a little bit cooler than normal here. Today. Oops, this lane is ending. But what is it? It's under 100. 100 is going to be the high today. So that'd be, the high today will be 38. So yeah, I'll take your 28. 26 or whatever it was you said. Yeah, I posted a screenshot off my phone from the other day when it was 44 Celsius, which was only slightly cooler than it was in Death Valley at the same time.
It says that married man died with an incomplete last wish of having a large family. Nicholas says we've had around 30 Celsius last weekend, and the whole week has been around 25, and it will be about 20 the whole of next week too.
It does seem kind of warm for way up north in Norway.
Ellen says, what? Wait, you normally keep your phone in Celsius?
No. That's why I almost ran off the road. I was switching it over.
According to Striker, end of the month, the heat is said to come back. Hopefully they're wrong. And Nicholas says anything over 22 and I die basically.
Don't come to Las Vegas in July or August then. Yeah, just walking outside is like being in a blast furnace, even in the shade.
says, I hear you, Nicholas. And Nicholas says, I'll come in December.
Yep. December, January, February. Yeah, February's probably the coolest.
Riker says, nah, don't see a reason to visit a desert besides BB saying hello to you in person.
Yeah, you really have to be into the whole Las Vegas scene.
How cool does it get at night during the summer? Is Carlin's question.
Depends, but down into the 90s, sometimes even into the 80s. Let me have a look-see. Let me switch it back to Fahrenheit. So the low today was 81. I assume that was this morning.
Nicholas says, my highest must have been 44 in Portugal 2 years ago when I drove all the way down there.
Well, that's pretty warm.
Lowrider says, I love when it's quote-unquote warm in Germany. Anything under 35, I'm fine with. Striker says, depends on what he said is AC to.
Yeah, my AC is set to 78, maybe? Might be a little higher. Almost 5 hours left on the clock, so probably got a 2.5 hours of driving left.
Vigner's wondering if it was in southern Portugal that Nicholas went to. Striker starts to complain at 25, but he has no issue with -10 to -15.
Well, the problem you guys have in Northern Europe, or in Europe, I think, is like it is in the United States Midwest. It's humid. We don't have any humidity here to speak of. Like when I lived in Minnesota and the temperature got up into the 90s, but it might be 80 to 90% humidity. Well, probably not 90%, but humidity can be a real problem. I lived along the Gulf Coast for several years, where it was 90 degrees plus and 90% plus humidity. It's miserable. Well, thank you guys for the gifted memberships. We've got more people that can attend next Saturday now.
Striker says, yes, 40 Celsius in Spain felt far better than 28 at the Northern Sea.
Well, I would think that it was humid in Spain too, or at least in Portugal. Because they're so close to the ocean. Wow. I was actually having trouble seeing the road. I do have my lights on, don't I? My
would appear so.
roof auxiliaries. They turned off when I was going through the tunnel. I didn't see any other vehicles.
Says, I think I need to find a new hometown instead of Faro. Plus 40 is a bit high. And Striker says Spain usually is pretty dry, even though they are at the Mediterranean Sea. Spain even has a desert.
That's a good point. I believe I got a ticket. I mean, I can, but did I go through the wrong? Did. You better get out of my way. Or we'll be testing siren sounds. Speaking of which, if I had a police officer right next to me, why didn't I hear his siren go off? Holy moly, look at the... Oh, those are, that must have been, rail cars. Weird lighting.
Adam says, have you noticed something with the turn signals recently in ATS or ETS?
No.
Well, it says no siren because you're in ETS. Cameras give tickets there.
I think it was a camera. There was a police car right next to me. That's why I was surprised.
Adam adds, it happens when it gets dark at night.
Well, when I went through that tunnel, I was having trouble seeing the roadway. Like, I don't have that problem now, but I did in the tunnel, so that's what got my attention. And I don't have my high beams on right now. Whoops.
Again, let's kind of stay on topic more now.
What?
You just said, I've heard that you are a great actor. Can you act in the situations you're surprised when your friend gifted you a truck in your birthday?
I'm not an actor.
Treasure O is here.
Treasure!
Bigner says the sirens kick in if there's a cop that sees you break the law in ETS. If the cops don't see you break the law, then the cameras do.
Right, I know that, but the reason why I said what I said was because I got a ticket and I saw a police car right next to me. So, but he didn't have his lights on, so that's why I was saying all that. It didn't register right away that it was a camera. Sirens kicking if there's a cop to see. Yes. Okay. Yeah, you already read that one.
The only acting Boomer does is the occasional crash Swifty for content, of course.
That's not acting. That's real. Oh, I'm always surprised when that happens. Okay, what time is it now? 1:12 in the AM. How far do we have to go? I don't know. Look at the map real quick. I'll do some more shout outs. 620 kilometers, so 9 hours of driving. I should be able to just get there and make delivery and then come over here and park in this rest area. Oh, I mustn't admit that. Oh, it's raining. Really? All right. I don't see any rain. It's always a surprise when it rains here.
Oh.
What is it, July?
That would probably be at the airport, not where you are.
Well, not necessarily.
That's where the official obs come from. Usually, is the airport.
Yeah, but the airport's not but about 8 miles straight line from here. Not very far. Nope, it's here. Just looking at the weather map. Yeah, it's rolling in from the south. Got a little bit of spot rain. There's not rain here right at the moment. Just rain in the area. Okay, enough of that. I want to do some shout outs. So, Chris T, Grumpy Gruntpaw Gaming, Ken Maselman, Donald William, Herbert Harris, Carlos DeJackal. To look and see how much time did I have left on the load. 24 hours. So I could sleep again before they deliver. Gaming Cakes, Tom Freer, Rob Shepard, Kirk Bernard, Yazi, Lewis Carr, Liao Chengshun, Lewis Gamer 2025, Casual Gaming World, Alberta Gaming 05. I'll do some more in a little bit. Okay, Thor. Let's see.
Hey, sound fixes.
Hey, we were just, well, they don't know it, but we were just talking about you. The audience doesn't know that that's what I was talking about. Do I upgrade my first garage all at once before I start hiring drivers, or as I hire drivers? If you're new, I would just wait until you need a larger garage. The only thing you really gain by upgrading is the ability to fuel up your truck at the garage. And then, of course, you got 2 extra slots. So until you need extra space, I wouldn't update or upgrade it. Yeah, sound fixes. I was just talking. That's why the audience doesn't know. I was talking about the siren sounds that you've been adding this past week. Not on this trip, but in the previous trip when I was coming out of Turkey, I did have a couple of police siren sounds, some of the new ones. Hold on a tick. I see something, Nicholas, if you're looking. I gotta wait till it swings the truck around.
Oh, you
Okay,
noticed something
but
with
I
the
see the
skin.
BTT shield back here on the side, on the inside of something. It looks like it shouldn't go there. I guess I'm gonna have to go to Truck Explorer.
He says
What am I
looking.
driving? Yeah, I'm driving the Volvo FH6. Come on. Well, I must have the wrong, something wrong. Accessory. Yep, there it is. Just see it right, the edge right there, and on the other side. Let me look at the next one. Aha! I think I'm running the Thor. Oh yeah, but we're still having that issue.
Says it
It
might
must
be the
be,
new parts from the latest update. I'm aware that there are some.
yeah, because here's the Trucky ambassador badge there on the that wraps the corner, and then the BTT shield there. So I just noticed that. Well, anyway, another thing to look at, but let's focus on the first thing first. That's no big deal. Okay, let me get some sleep. The Sound Fixes pack has been adding, or Sound Fixes has been adding to the Sound Fixes pack mod new police siren sounds based on where you are in Europe.
It says cool that you were able to encounter the first local police sirens already.
Yeah, I had a couple of instances, unfortunately. One of them sounded like the stock police siren, but the other one sounded like one of the new ones. Not on this trip so far. And I'm not going to intentionally get a speeding ticket or something just to show that off like AP 101 did in his video. He would purposely ram into police cars just to get the siren sound. It was funny though to watch him.
Nicholas says, yeah, it's because they added the Volvo tuning pack to the latest Volvo FH6 in 155.
Okay. It was just another thing to fix. Again, low priority right now.
Or says, I'm back, cooled down and wet.
That was quick.
Adam's not sure what controls the turn signal. That would be the little stalk on the side of the wheel.
Yeah, I don't remember what the keyboard command is for that, but I use the paddles on my steering wheel.
Well, it's asking, Adam, haven't noticed that. Are you running any light mods?
Oh, I can't do that. I can't use the brackets on mine. I've remapped them.
uses the directional arrows on the wheel for turn signals. And Adam answers pilot, no, I do not. Do have light mods, but it does not affect the turn signal.
Well, that's weird. I see blockers here, but I have... Okay, that's weird. I just saw blockers. Oops.
Or an off-ramp.
Or an off-ramp.
Oh.
Well, it's off-ramps to nowhere, but you could use these to turn around.
Yeah.
But the fact is, I have it all colored in. Now, the only thing I can think of now is that I have it all colored in because I drove on here, but usually you have to get up onto the off-ramp to do that. Okay.
Nicholas says, I think that whole section gets colored when you drive past it.
That must be what it is then. Why would they even bother putting it there? And if they do put it there, why would they block it? Because it'd be a great place to do a turnaround if you needed it. Whoops. James Ewing, welcome to the adventure. Happy to have new subscribers. Happier still to have people show up at the live streams like you guys are now. I'd be even happier if I could stay inside the lines.
Old SCS did that. New SCS probably wouldn't, says Nicholas.
Wouldn't what?
And Stryker says, yes, in the older map parts, the whole intersection gets colored in.
Okay. Still, it'd be nice if they let us use that for a turnaround.
Further map updates, maybe, says Thor.
Good point. Because they are going to do some updates in this area soon. I mean, this year.
Bickner says this part of the map will be reskinned just in time for Nordic Horizons.
Yeah. But do we really know what part? I mean, we have some knowledge of different parts, especially in Denmark. I think Stockholm gets reworked completely. Not Stockholm, Copenhagen. Or I got Sweden on the mind.
Striker says, yep, and Benelux rework next.
Well, okay. There's been a fair amount of rain on this trip. Not that there's anything wrong with that, just noticing.
Bigner says there's 2 map DLCs being worked on as of now. Nordic Horizons and Iceland plus Scania reskin and Benelux reworked.
Well, I don't consider Scania reskin as a new DLC. That it'll be a lot of new stuff to us, but it's not like it's a new DLC like Nordic Horizon or Iceland. It's all
Striker
pretty exciting, though.
Striker adds Czech Republic is also in need of a rework. Don't know why they don't do their home country first.
Guess I never really thought about that. What's up with the Czech Republic? I mean, I've never been there in real life, so and certainly not recently. So I guess I don't know how it might be out of date.
We're perked up at the mention of Iceland.
Yeah, Thor, you've been out of pocket for a bit, so they announced Iceland.
Yeah, which is what Vigner just said. They announced it's coming next year. This is sweet. It'll be the next DLC after Nordic Horizon. Striker says the on and off ramps are still the ones used in ETS1, meaning the right lane suddenly becomes the exit lane and stuff like that. It's not realistic, it never was.
Oh, in the Czech Republic, okay. Hate those, by the way. That's not the only place those exist. See, I didn't know any better. It's my only experience with the Czech Republic. But yeah, so I'm on board with that whole idea. Except
Alan continues on. Besides that, not sure what could affect the turn signal since the last time I used it a few weeks ago.
Are you saying your turn signals just don't work, Adam? Must have missed something. know, I've forgotten how pretty this drive is.
Like your ads, it also just looks outdated with all the new DLCs and reworks. Adam says they work, but it's at night is the issue.
What? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, Adam. Either they work or they don't. Daytime, nighttime, doesn't matter.
Thor says, I've been on Iceland 4 times, once flying home from Canada and 3 times by boat delivering fuel and oil and taking fish oil back to Denmark.
Which reminds me, is there a shipping sim that's an awful lot like Euro Truck or ATS, where you're going from port to port hauling cargo? Is there a sim like that? Because that sounds fascinating to me. I would like to be able to do all kinds of logistics simulations. You know, container ships that go from one part of the world to another, and then the containers get moved from the port to wherever they go, either by local trucks or rail. So that's 3 different things there: ships, trucks, and trains.
Vigner says, and for ATS, Nevada and Arizona look old now after California has been reworked.
Yeah. They both need reworking.
Adam says they're mostly flashing beyond the traffic light or flashing 180 degrees on either side when merging from one lane to another. John Rice asks, is that a dashboard mod?
What? Is what a dashboard mod? Oh, you mean by having the stuff at the bottom? Yes, that's a route advisor mod. All my mods are in the description below. I use a route advisor mod that puts all that information down at the bottom. Up at the top, the blue bar, that's the Trucky overlay. That's not a mod. It's a configurable overlay when you run Trucky.
Adam says it only happens when the sun sets and at night.
Yeah, Adam, I can't imagine what kind of issue that might be.
Nicholas remembers he played a ship simulator when he was a kid. There were different scenarios you could do, and one of them was the night of the Titanic sinking, but the task was to avoid the icebergs.
When you were a kid, wasn't that like last year? You young pups, get off my lawn!
Dora says there was a shipping sim called Transocean, the shipping company.
Yeah, suddenly sharing that information about you going to Iceland a few times because you've talked about it before. I find that fascinating. And it just makes me think about, you know, how neat would it be to get into a shipping sim. You know, I watched that other YouTube channel, What's Going On with Shipping, which is real life shipping information. And I find a lot of that fascinating, and it interacts with trucking a lot because the containers that get offloaded at the ports, well, I've never hauled containers personally, but I've taken, like in Washington State, Pacific Northwest, they take the containers off the ship, and sometimes they get taken to what's called a freight forwarder, where they transfer the contents of the container to a dry van trailer. And I've taken the dry van trailers to wherever they go, like Phoenix, most of the time. And so I always found that fascinating, the logistics aspect of things. Whoops.
Nicholas corrects himself. He says, "No, it was at least 1.5 years ago." Or do you mean 15? There's a comma in there. Sail Away is a sim 1-to-1 map where you can sail different sailboats to store.
Well, that's a whole different genre there. I'm thinking about the logistics part, you know, where you, as maybe a shipping company, where you operate multiple ships. Or if you just operate one, if you're the captain of a ship, like a truck driver. And your job is to go from one port to another, offloading stuff. You might go to multiple ports. I don't know, that might get boring though. But would it get any more boring than this? This isn't boring to me. It's got to be the navigating part and all the stuff built into it. Similarly, aviation logistics, like, you know, you fly a plane. Now you can do that in Microsoft Flight Simulator. But the emphasis isn't on the cargo, it's on the flying. Now in SCS games, truck simulators, it's both. You're simulating driving the truck, but you're also going to shippers and receivers. You're selecting freight loads based on either where you want to go or what you're trying to accomplish. Like in this challenge, we have to go from a specific country to another specific country in sequence. But you have to look for loads going to the place you're trying to go.
I'll be right back.
You know, Adam, my truck has that where I've got 2 turn signals on the side. Now that's not a mod. That is something that's an optional side panel. If that's what you're thinking of. Yeah, Carlin, I could see that would be part of the challenge. Oh, I got to exit up here. Let me hit pause for a second while I catch up on the chat. Let's see. In Ocean Trans, you're only steering ships in and out of ports. The rest is automated. Adam says, I'm not talking about the side panel, but the blinker light itself. Okay, but a lot of side panels don't have blinker lights. Sometimes they're just on the front. And yeah, whatever Pilot said. Sail the way you steer the boat all the time. I did a tour around the world. It took me 3 months. Wow. Okay, back to it. We are 72 kilometers away. Just minutes in real time. How are we doing on driving time? 3.5 hours. We're good. We are good. We should get there before 7 p.m. game time. And then we can hop over to that rest area right next door. Oh look, Nightbot is back. Striker, you talking about me on this trip? 24.3 liters per 100 kilometers, that is. But I've only got, my load is only 10 tons, so that's consistent. I guess I've been out here before, but I don't remember it. And according to my map, I've actually delivered or picked up at that, at the place we're going to. Polaris lines. What a pretty view. And here comes our delivery. And that's a hidden road, I betcha. Whoa. Well, I almost became part of the scenery just then. Oh, it's a ferry landing. That's why I've been here before. Where does this go? I completely missed that. Okay, yeah, it goes across to Paldisti and up here to Nantali. So I have been this way. That's why. To the ferry. I haven't delivered or picked up here. I've passed through here on the ferry. Oh, I gotta go inside this area. Yep, not a good view. Just leave it on the inside.
I'm back.
Come back just in time to see the parking. $2,362 kilometers. Wait, what? Yeah, almost a Swifty. When you turned 65, your pension was cut by about 3,000 grand. What? Why would they do that? I mean, that's okay. I mean, if you got to cancel the membership, that you got to do what you got to do. But wow, I didn't. That seems odd. But then I don't know how it works over there. So let's take a look. See, I just need to go out and
Director says backing up HCTs should be fun.
I've done it under the tutelage of Stabs. That was a real challenge. I don't know if it's the HCTs that we did, but it was doubles.
Nicholas says the sound fix is back. Poor Boomer if that's the case.
What's that?
If the next module of Driving Academy would include doubles.
Oh, what's it got to do with sound fixes back?
That's what sound fixes back said.
Oh,
If it includes doubles.
Yeah, I'm not hearing the beginning of what you're saying sometimes. I saw Vigner say something about sound fixes. That's what threw me.
Oh.
With the next module of Driving Academy will include double. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Vigner's response was, "I think it will," according to Mark.
Well, that would make sense. I don't know if it would make sense for American truck, but it would for Euro truck. But we have doubles in the U.S., so there's that. I will just leave
Stryker
this
thinks it's
sitting here for a
easy
moment.
than the U.S. variant of doubles.
No. I mean, it depends on what you're comparing to in Euro truck. Some types of the Euro trucks where they're kind of they are not articulated in the center, then those would be the easier ones. But the wiggle wagons, they're articulated in 1, 2, 3, 4 places. 3 places. 2 in the center because there's a dolly. And then of course the 5th wheel on the dolly. So that's 2 pivot points right there. Okay, so I have some shout outs left to do. Oh, it's easier than the US variant. Yes, I misunderstood that. Oh, Thor, I'm confused by all that. All right, Japsai 0585. You still here, Japsai? Herbie, Crack, Quavo, Bushos, Night Train Videos, Martin Lowe's, Lopsy, Mr. No Assist, Atos, Anderson Silva. That is all the shout outs. Okay. Oh my goodness, so where are we at on time? Oh, that's not too bad. Let's take a look at that map. Who wants to look up and see what I got for that? How many miles on TrucksBook and hardcore points in Trucky? Be curious to know. I mean, I can check it later, but now I'm way up here, and the next thing, the next thing is, hang on, the next thing is from here, from Sweden to Spain. It is a long way. Go ahead.
934 hardcore points, 4 stars.
What about distance in TrucksBook or Trucky?
They're the same, 2362.
I'll take it. Well, considering I had a light load and I got at least 1 speeding ticket. No, Thor, since the 155 update happened sometime in the last 2 weeks, ProMods has been no worky, but they're working on it. They're adding more stuff in the next version. So anyway, so España, where do I want to go down here? I guess it doesn't really matter. Let's look for what's the longest. Seville, 3,721. Wow. I'm not doing that today. That just gives me an idea of how far I got to go. So that's about 1,300 extra kilometers, maybe 14. I don't know. Whatever I just did. So yeah. So from Sweden to Spain, and then Spain to Romania, I think, and then Spain to Slovenia, Slovenia to Slovakia, Slovakia to Serbia, Serbia to Romania, and then Romania to Portugal. So a bunch of bouncing around in the Balkans, and then you got to shoot across over to Portugal, and then Portugal to Poland. That's a long way. And then Poland up here to Norway somewhere. That's not too bad. So I've got a lot of running around to do yet. Let's look at the map. I know I discovered some new territory today, so I'm up to 52.85%. I think yesterday I was at 52.17. That's pretty good. Okay. Well, I'm going to wrap it up there. It has been an interesting stream. I have enjoyed that drive. I think I only had the one speeding ticket. No accidents, no Swifties. So that's good. Anyway, we're missing a few likes. If you could hit your likes on the way out the door. And thank you, Mikey. Since I'm not going anywhere. Well, I'll just try not to cut my finger in the kitchen. There. I'll be safe otherwise. Oh, okay. We'll see you back here tomorrow. American Truck Simulator. I'm going to do the final city in Iowa DLC. And that's going to do it. Thanks again. And stay tuned for the credits roll. And by the way, we are recruiting for the Boomers Trucknado Transport for all of you American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator drivers who aren't yet a part of our VTC. We're taking applications. See you tomorrow.